All right, excited for today. There is a move that every pro makes in the takeaway, but nobody talks about. And we're going to work on that today. All right, so let's get started. So the move that every pro makes, it starts with the letter Y. All right, so that we're going to dive into that. We're going to work through the progression on how that's going to work in the golf swing all the way up to the top of the backswing and into transition. Okay, let's get started. So the question that arises is, why is the takeaway, the beginning of the backswing, so important? So what we're going to do is we're going to work on a couple drills and give you a concept or a way of thinking about it so that you can perform and start that backswing with confidence. All right, so let's get started. What we're going to do is, it's why. Why do I need to do this? Well, because what happens is if I start the backswing off, I have to make adjustments. So if I start off with some weird moves, then I have to readjust up into the transition area to try to be able to get that golf club back down to that golf ball to be able to hit it. Now, you can do a lot of things and still play golf, right? And you get away with it. But what we're trying to do here is trying to make it simple. The least amount of movements that we can do, the better. So many times what we do is we make adjustments because we have so many extra moves. So we're going to really decrease that and give you a way of working on that. So why? Right? Why? Capital Y. Let's go. Let's do it. So when you see the pros and everybody set up and they get all set up and they're ready to go, right? You have the letter Y. And when you have the letter Y, if you'll notice, and what we're going to show you here is we have to start that takeaway with that letter Y. And that first move, that very first move right there, just gets you in a good position without extra adjustments of being able to get up into a good position in the transition area at the top of the backswing to be able to bring that club back down in a way that you would like to start doing. All right, but it all starts in that first foot or two. So here we go. Let's get started. So again, we're going to set up. We're all set up here. I have my letter Y. You got your arms, you got the club. They make a nice letter Y. So what I see a lot of times is someone will start with their wrists, right? So they'll start with their wrist, they get caught, and then now, elbow could go in, that club could be going crazy directions. That's one. Now, you can get just to go to the inside. A lot of times what happens is because the club, you have weight here and your hands are pushing, it's like a teeter-totter, a fulcrum effect right through the middle. And so what's going to happen is as this starts going in, these hands will start going out. And so we have that motion. Now that club head's way inside and my hands are going out. And now what do I have to do? I have to do something up here to be able to hopefully get into a good position. But again, everything's momentum. So as I get in a position up here, it wants to continue to move in a certain direction. And then you have to make all these other movements to be able to adjust for that one. So that's one. Hands are out, club is in. Another one is people will push out. Now I'm separated, right? My armpits are out. I'm away from my body. So we have this motion. All right, and so what we want to do is we want to, again, start in a nice, solid, simple movement going away from the ball. So again, if I set up here, notice my arms are dropping down, my club's going out. So I have an angle from my arms to my club head. Down and then out. And now as I go back, and if I just use my letter Y, just the Y, and turn the Y back, notice what happens. I still have that club angle and my arm angle right here. So I have my club angle and my arm angle. And now from there, we can fold. I'm not worried right now. I'm not worried about you getting into a correct fold one way or the other. I want you, when when I have my students do this, what we do is we get back into here, into this position, and then however they want to fold, they can fold. Because if you work on too much at once, then you're not going to be able to do one correctly. So work on that first part. Now, set up to the Y. And now how we're going to do this is if I have a letter Y, you can go back and you keep the letter Y until you get chest facing dead backwards with the club still right in front of me and my arms are still straight. Notice I still have straight arms. I still have my letter Y right here. Okay, so what happens is people go out here and then they stop their body turning and they're here. And do you have the letter Y? And they look, yeah, no. Then you have to actually straighten this arm back out and push that club back in front of you. So take the letter Y, look at it. If I set up right here and I turn back towards you and I set the club back down, I still have my letter Y. Okay, so if you go like this and you turn back and you put it down, yeah, not really that close. All right, so turn back with the letter Y so the chest is facing backwards. The club and my hands are still right in front of me. That's your first move. That's what you're going to feel. And so from there, what you can do is you can do mirror work. So you stand in front of a mirror so you can verify. You can do is you can put your cell phone right in front of you, put it on selfie mode so you can see yourself, set up, see your letter Y, and watch yourself in the phone and see if you are getting your letter Y. All right? Turn, look and verify if you see if you got it. It works really well. And again, same thing at home in front of a mirror. You can take a ball, grab a ball, and you hold, I prefer like the soccer ball or the big, like the blue or pink ball that you get from like Walmart or something, and then turn, push it away. So my hands are still in front of me, my hands are here. It feels like I still have that letter Y move, which again, same thing, and we're out here. Now, what we do from there in the golf swing is we are going to go into the Y, you have that, and then from there, we are going to fold. Is that longer than normal? Yes, that's fine because we are changing something. Remember, you're changing something, so we over-exaggerate the move. Really, I'm taking my Y to here. And then from here, where my hands are right here on my leg, now I'm going to fold, right? Now we have to change a move though. If I'm doing this, or I'm doing this, right? I have to feel like I am going all the way to here, then I'm gonna fold, and then I can swing. All right, so that's helps you now be able to do that in the actual golf swing. But you hit golf balls doing that. Feel versus real is two different things. So set up. Let's try to do that with the golf swing now. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up. We're going to take the Y all the way. We're going to fold, and then we're going to swing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go Y, fold, swing. Here we go. Now, remember, the idea is not necessarily be hitting good golf shots at first. Don't care. What we're trying to do is feel that we're keeping a Y a long ways before we fold. Keep your Y a long ways before you fold. You are training yourself to feel a Y a long ways that causes your chest to turn as well. Fold, fire. Here we go. Y, fold, fire. On that particular one, I felt myself fold a little bit early. We'll do that one more time. Set it up. Get my lawnmower clippings off. So again, Y, fold, fire. There we go. Now again, you have two moves, right? We are feeling like we go all the way up. We're going to fold, and then we're going to be able to swing. And then you can do that at home. Just doing this into a mirror. Do it with a ball. Okay? Take a ball, put it on your club. Take it back and down. So you can feel that the ball and the club are moving together. And then you're able to swing down through. Okay? Now that we have that feel, what we're going to do is we're going to relax that a little bit. Now we just have to make a golf swing. Now ideally, after we do all this work, what's going to happen is my hands are going to get right to here before I start folding. So again, that first about foot or so, I get the hands to go over here, and I still have my letter Y before I fold. Set up, there, and go ahead and swing. There you go. And that's the progression that you're going to use to be able to go put that into golf swing so you can get a nice solid takeaway at the very first by using the Y. All right, thanks for watching. If this tip helped your game, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming content. I've got plenty more on improving your swing, sharpening your short game, and lowering your scores with technique-specific content and live lesson videos. And if you want to keep learning right now, check out the video popping up here on the screen. It'll take your game to the next level. All right, see you in the next one.